The brilliant insight you need to make a difference can start right now. That's why Liberty University Online brings more than 160 affordable degree programs, superior academics, and exceptional student support to your corner of the world, offering you a world-class education with a Christian worldview, online. So wherever your vision is taking you today, you can begin to shine brighter.
My name is Thuc and I'm from Nguyen High School and I'm 17 years old. This is my presentation. Given the choice, would you rather have been born with a different eye color, hair color, or skin tone? Maybe you would have chosen to be taller, thinner, or more muscular. Of course, you didn't have these options. The physical and personality traits a person winds up with are just one big roll of the dice, with only the biological parents' genes to draw from. However, with an advances in genetic research, people may soon pre-select their children's physical and personality traits, just like they pick out options on a new car in about 10 years' time. And those people they call designer babies. However, before bustling excited about a newborn human innovation, we should all consider issues relating to designer babies, including how it's made, safety, ethics, and its effect on our modern society. All together to reach a conclusion that the technology of designer baby should not be implemented. Okay, first of all, a designer baby is a baby whose genetic makeup has been artificially selected by genetic engineering to ensure the presence or absence of particular genes or characteristics. For example, we might pursue physical attractiveness on our child's behalf by using a somatic cell from Angelina Jolie or Brad Pitt. Or, if we want our children to be a master at golfing, we may as well choose Tiger Woods style for cloning. The advantages of designing babies are that we can weed out genetic diseases in our offspring and furthermore added some of the best features inside and out into our babies. Even the features that their parents do not have, such as a couple of dead parents can decide that their child will have an impeccable hearing ability. Now, how great does that sound? However, we need to pause and ask what moral or ethical limits should apply to the selection of our children's genes or characteristics. Before we can answer this, we must address other questions. Are the technology of genetic modification and selection safe enough to be used on humans? And even if the technologies are safe, can they be morally defended? According to scientists, designing baby is not risk-free. Even if we understand how somatic cell nuclear transfer might enable us to make designer babies, we are not yet ready to create children by cloning. Therefore, there are major concerns about the health of clones. Animal clones suffer from a variety of problems that some scientists connected with incomplete reprogramming of somatic cell DNA or damage inflicted by the process of nuclear transfer. Animal cloning has proven to be risky. Human clones may also suffer from the same problems. Some commentators fear that the removal of one or two cells from the 8-cell embryos might have implications for the well-being of people created in that way. This technology is still fairly new in the world, and no one would know what might happen to these designer babies 10 or 20 years down the road. Would they still be living healthily like a more normal human being? Or would they start to have problems with the genetic material which may cause death? Well, no one would dare to have a definite answer to these questions. Suppose we move away from discussion of risk to focus on the moral issues of designing babies. Is it acceptable for parents to select each and every feature of their child like picking a toy car from a catalog? Definitely not. Besides, giving the parents the ability to select the genetic traits of their offspring would subtly worsen the relationship between parents and children. The woman who gave birth to a clone of Brad Pitt would be no more genetically related to the clone than she is to the original. The lineal line, the connection between generations, the sacredness of having one's baby, they're all gone. Now, also, since there are a range of embryos that parents can choose from, what would happen to those embryos that no one chooses? Do they just get destroyed? Isn't that equivalent to killing a life? So, is it morally acceptable? No. The choosing of embryos ought not to be allowed so as to prevent embryos from being left behind, being rejected. If people intent on creating designer babies were wishing to eradicate serious and fatal genetic abnormalities, then they could be forgiven for arguing that it was a good thing. Sadly, these designer baby ideas center on superficial characteristics like eye color, hair color, skin color, nose shape, etc. This is a major reason why designer babies are unethical. To produce designer babies, we are disregarding a natural process that has worked for millions of years. We are also taking away randomness, creating baby that fits our stereotype of what is called perfect. But why can't they understand that there is no such thing as a perfect being? And the people who desire such a flawless baby know nothing about parenthood or unconditional love. But the effect of having a designer baby goes far beyond the family itself, but even the entire society in which personal traits is modified. Four stereotypes to be changed are human race, class, gender, and beauty. Firstly, about the human race, the movie Gattaca depicts a future in which genetically enhanced people take the lead, viewing unenhanced people as fit only as to clean up after them. A society is a corporate venture in which we all are seen as having something to offer. Genetic enhancement will bring this social arrangement to an end, creating societies in which unenhanced people are viewed by their genetic superior in much the same way as we currently view chimpanzees, suitable for drug testing and zoo exhibits but little else. Also, since the gender of the child can be chosen, most would choose to have only boys, resulting in imbalance of gender in the society and even sex discrimination. Because currently there are still countries and societies who have a gender preference. For example, some Chinese believe that boys are better as they are smarter and can earn a living for the family in the future, while girls are good for nothing and are meant to live at home and do household chores. This will also result in a difficulty in ensuring the continual of species as there aren't enough females for the males to reproduce with. Furthermore, the parents do not have the right in defining what is considered to be pretty or acceptable. Does it mean that tall, dark black hair and brown eyes are beautiful and others are not? This may lead to a stereotype of beauty. In addition, designing baby is highly expensive. For those who have no means of affording this technology, their children will be discriminated and considered as outcasts of the society, as they are not as beautiful or as athletic or smart as those who are genetically modified. This would enlarge the gap between the rich and the poor, hence creating problems of social discrimination. Last but not least, some might say the world would be a much better place with lots of smarter, more athletic, and more beautiful people. However, those who hope to clone designer babies should be wary that organization emerge from a complex interaction of genes and environment. You could clone Michael Jordan, but Michael number 2 might want to be an accountant, for instance. And who says that a clone of Warren Buffett would definitely end up becoming a billionaire? In conclusion, even if designing baby is allowed, it ought to be only used to prevent disease, not for choosing cosmetic appearances. Drastic changes to the musculature, mental capacity, and senses should not be a part of this advance. It is unethical, unfair, and in some cases, just downright dangerous. Natural way to produce children is always the best. I really don't think designing baby is a good idea. Our children shouldn't be treated like toys in a store. When I have a kid, one of the most fun parts will be discovering my kids' physical and personality traits. I want my kids to be whoever they're going to be. And for the people who consider designing their own babies, for me, bring shame on the intellect that has set human species apart from all the rest. Thank you.